I'm going to show you how to create a landscape material that doesn't repeat. So here you can see that I have created a landscape, and also I will show you how to set up these parameters so I can actually mix the amount what I want or in here. And you have different blend here. Just have distance, blends into the distance, or blends in how short you are, like that. So that is what I'm going to show you. Okay, so I have created a quick landscape here, and I have created lights and the sky in here, and I saved this as land. So the next thing here what I need to do now is create my material that I'm going to use for the landscape. So I'm going to go into, click here to content, and I'm going to create a folder where I'm going to store my materials and my instance. I'll call it mat. And then I'm going to right click and choose material. And I like to name materials underscore landscape. And then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to exit my landscape here. So I'm going to show you. So when you want to add a material to the landscape, you don't want to just throw it on here, but you want to select this node right here when it says landscape. Here, this is all the landscape. So if you scroll down here to the bottom, right here, landscape material, and this is where you're going to apply it. But we don't have anything set to it yet. So what we need to do now is set up our materials here, the basic foundation of our materials we're going to use for the landscape. So we're going to open this up, and we're going to dock it up here, and then we need textures. So what we need to do here is we're going to use the Quixel bridge to get our textures. So open up Quixel bridge. You got to sign in. I'm signed in already. So the first texture I'm going to search for sand. Oop, before I do that, I'm going to make sure I choose surfaces and hit sand. Alright, so the first thing here, when you are searching for textures, where you want to avoid anything that has really contrast or highlights I'm showing you here. And what it does, it makes it a lot harder to make it look non-repeating. So in here you can see this one is pretty good. This is the Desert Western Ground Sand. I'm going to use that. You can see that I have downloaded this one before, and it has a check mark, and all I do is just have to hit the plus sign. Next in here, let's find something else, one more material that we can blend in. Let's type in grass. And you can see this one I've done before. This had a little marking in there which I don't like. That looks good. I haven't downloaded this one. This is the mossy grass. Just hit download here. Yeah, you could choose different materials here. I did medium quality. If you use high quality, you might slow down a little bit, but that's fine. I'm just going to do the medium for now. Alright, so now we have materials, and now we can start setting this up, the basic foundation. So I'm going to go into my mega scans, and I'm going to hit scan, and then throw in my sand in there, and then my grass in there as well. So what we are going to do here is that we are going to create the different material attributes that will mix these together. So what I usually do is I usually create my first nodes up here, and then what I do is I copy and paste the other nodes or the scalar and the parameters down here, so I don't have to do it twice. So I'm going to set up the first one here quickly. So I'm going to go in here. First we need to put these together, we need a texture coordinate. texture coordinate. And then to put this in here, we need to use a multiply. And then we want to have a scalar that controls the size of the texture. So if I hold S on my keyboard, it pulls up a scalar parameter. Or if you want to, you can just type in scalar like this, and you can see it says scalar parameter as well. What this parameter allows me to do is that when I apply the material instance, I can actually change the parameter size while this map is loaded, which is really cool. So I'm going to connect this like this, and then in here, and I'm going to connect it to UV here, and I'm going to change this scale to 0.5. And this one will be the same as in here. Whoops. Sorry, I lied. This goes in here, like that. And then what we need to do now is that we want to get a material attribute where we can actually start mixing these normal maps together, and then we will create a landscape layer material, and then we will create a break material attribute that would actually assign roughness, normal maps, stuff like that. So in here, I'm going to type in make material attributes. And here you can see it has base color and normal. So we can just go into the base color, and this will go into the normals. So now we are going to create a landscape material. Landscape blend layer. So we can blend the layers together, this layer and the grass layer together. And right now you don't see anything, so we want to hit this little plus sign right here. We hit it twice, and then open these up, and then we can type in sandstone. Just type in sand, that's fine. And then the second one, we type in grass. And then we put this together like this. Whoops. Like that. And then we will connect this. And then all we have to do now is select this, copy, paste here, and take these, copy, and paste on the bottom. So hook this up to UV, hook this up to the UV, and then this will go into the base color, this will go into the normal map, and then this here will connect to the up here. So now we have a basic material set up, which is definitely going to be repeating. So, and our goal is to make it not repeating. So just let's put this into the landscape, apply it to the landscape. So I want to go back to my materials, and then in here I want to create an instance of this. Oh, before I do that, let's go in and apply it here. So if we go into landscape, and I'm just going to drop it onto here, and you make sure this is clicked but when you apply it. So what we need to do now is we need to tell its normals which way it's going to be facing. We want the normals. So if we go in here to paint, and here you can see the ones that we created. So I'll make it a little bigger like that. So in here we're going to click the plus sign, and then you want to use the weight blend layer normal. So select that, and then we're just going to put that into the landscape folder that we have created, and you do the same thing for the grass. You can see now it added the sand. You can see, it's kind of repeating here. It is repeating over and over again, but here you can definitely see it's repeating. So in here we're going to do the same thing for the grass. Make sure it's normal, and then you put it in here. And now we want to do here. So now if you choose the grass here, you can start painting grass in. There you go. There's the grass. So now we want to have this alpha that we can actually mix it together and to make it look good. And one way to make this a non-repeating texture is to use a thing called a macro variation. Some people use in different colors to blend them together, but I feel it's better to use different sizes. So we are going to have different sizes of mask, and also we want to have different sizes of textures in here. These different textures, so it would blend in. These would be different. This would be a 0.5, the other one would be a 0.025. So before we do that, we want to go back to materials and create an instance so we can control the numbers that we enter in. So select your material and then create a material instance. And this instance will drop into replace this here. Then when we create it. So, all right. So we open this up here, and I can show you the global parameter. These are the ones that the texture we did, the size 0.5. So if you go in here, back into landscape, and then if you want to name it, rename it, you can call it. You can see it called sand size. So we go back and hit apply, sand, and then go back to instant here, and now you can see now we know what it is. Another thing here we want to do is that we want to make sure that these textures are wrapping each other. It's going to happen at a time when this gets really complex, and that's when you're painting, nothing's really happening. So select your textures, and then here in the sampler source, we're going to change this to a wrap. And we're going to do the same thing on the bottom here as well. Select these here, and then do the same thing, wrap. And then what we could do is that we could put this into, instead of being in the global parameters, we are going to have a global one. I want to separate that out so it will have its own. So we're going to go back to the landscape material, and then select the size here, and then in here it says group. We named this to the sand group. So now, if you go in here back to the bridge here, make sure we close this down. Go back in here, make sure you hit apply, and then save. And now we have our sand group. So we separating the global scale parameter to have our own name, sand. So it'll be easier to know what we are changing. So what I'm going to do now here is we want to get this macro variation in, and rather than me making one, I'm just going to use one that exists already. And we have one that is gold uses. So if I go in here and reset this so we can get the gold one up, so I'm going to search for gold material. This right here, open that up. So in here on the top here, they have these right here, these little masks here. This will actually mix in my grass and sand, the different variety sizes in here. So to do this here, we're going to select these, copy this, and then we close this down. Make sure you get the multiply. No, we're not going to save it. Go back in here. I'm going to paste it in, bring it down here. And one thing we forgot to do is we forgot to write in here, see this is working fine, but we're not really getting the normal maps mixture in here. What we want to do is to break up the materials that are being shot into here. So to do that, we're going to undo that here, and then we're going to type in break material attributes, right? So now when everything comes in here, it's going to break it up, and we will go into the base color, and we have normal, and we don't have any roughness map yet. So and also what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add I'm going to do a scalar parameter so I can control the glossiness of my landscape. I call this spec land, and this will be, of course, it would be a global, so I'm not going to put it into a group. So connect this like this, and we're going to change the value to 1. hit save, apply. And now what we're going to do here is to see what this macro ratio is going to look like. We're going to undo this here just for now. You can see what it looks like. So I hit here and hit apply. And then let's see what it looks like here. You can see that it's breaking up here, the textures here. You can see different spotches, different sizes. And then my grass and my sand will go in between these, which is really lovely. So what we could do now here in the landscape now is I could go into here. So these are blended together. So now if we hit apply and see what it looks like, it's going to look much better here. So now you can see that it is the repeating text is slowly disappearing right now. So it's looking really, really good. So another way to help this is that we can use a thing called a distance. Doing that, a distance node that will blend it. So the up closer will load up the finer details, and then in the farther distance will load in the smaller ones, or vice versa if you wanted to. And in addition, what we're going to do here is we are going to change the variety size of these as well. And if you combine with this here, it's going to look very hard to see as ever repeating. So to do this, we need to, I'm just going to copy these, bring these down here, and then we are going to make this to 0.025. And then what we're going to do here is that we're going to undo this and undo this, and oops, so like that, and then like that. Let me see if I'm doing this right. I'm going to see, we made it 2.25, and this connects into here. Oops, we want to, I messed it up here. So what you want to do is do this here. This is the size, and this is the like that. You want to mix these two together. So these are, this is the large one. So this would be 0.5, and then this is 0.25, 0.025. Oh, oopsie, it won't work here. So actually, we copied the same parameter, so we have to make another one here. Let's call it here. Let's do it here. Just call this far sand. Oops, make sure I spell it right. Spell it right. So you, and this would be 0.25, 0.25, like that, and then connect that into here, and then this will go to the bottom here. Oops, let me undo this. This is go to the bottom here, and we take the bottom here as well. When you do this, you can actually see it changes size here. You can see that. And now then this here will go, oops, sorry. And now this here will go connect to here. So now you can see here, far here. So to connect these here, to merge these together, we can use a lerp node. So type in lerp node in here, and then select this in here, and this will go in here, and then we do another lerp node down here, and this will go into here. Oops, sorry. This will go into here. Oh, I'm gonna get myself there, like that. Sorry about that. I was mixing it up here. So these two were mixing together, and then these here were mixed together. And now we need to create the alpha here, which will be the distance here, the distance blend. So we can move these down here. So we're going to type in here distance blend. And now we want to convert these into parameters here now. So go in here, right click. This here, we want to do promote to parameter. That, and then we do the same thing here to start off here. We're going to do promote to parameter. And let's see what this actually will look like if we don't have any texture. So we're going to go in here, bring this up here. And we can actually, and this is also a great way to see how it's going to look, how we can determine. So we go back in here, oops, we need to hit apply and save here. So now you see we have 0, 0 number here. So if we open up our instance here, and then we want to turn on just turn on all of these right here, like that. And then this here, a good number, so we can actually see it. A good number to use is 10,000. So go in here and type in 10,000. And then for short distance here, let's do minus 2,000. There we go. And you can increase this wherever you want here. So if you want to do minus 5,000 distance, so that's farther away. I think that's actually better. Just keep a 5,000 here. So I'm going to hit save here, and then we can go back into our materials, and then we are going to put this back, and then in here we're going to plug it back into make sure I connect my normal maps into the alphas here, so we control that. So go in here like this, and then this will go into here, and now so we go back in here, so you can see that now. And you can kind of see it's loading in there, but you can see that definitely the repeating texture is getting better and better. We can even do better than this. Right now, what I want to do is I want to mix in the kind of like a similar way we did up with the macro variation. Instead, we're going to use an existing mask that is called Perlin mask. And then this will allow me parameters that if I want more sand or if I want more grass, I can mix them together. So to do this, we need to create the Perlin here. So if we go in here to engine, and then if I type in Perlin, and this is the texture that we want to use. Saving. I'm going to take this, drop it in here, copy it, don't move it. So if you don't want to copy any, if you don't want to move any engine content here, just make sure you copy it. So I have it in there. And now if we go in here and we want to apply this to use a thing called a blend material attribute. So we can go in here, type in blend material attributes. So in here you can see that it has an A and a B. So this bit is sand going in here, and then the B here will go in the grass here, and the Perlin thing that we can create right now will go into the alpha. So I'm going to type in a, we need a, just drag this in here. And then this here will go into the RGBIV, the alpha. So now we need to create a control the size here, texture here. Texture coordinates. Plug that. Oop, we need to multiply. We need to control the size. So multiply. And then we do a scalar and call it this just a blend Perlin. So we know we're mixing into the mass there. So this goes in there, this goes here, and now this goes into UV. And now what we're going to do here is that we are going to have this go into here. And then this will go into here. And now my B ones here, since we haven't done anything here, just I'm just going to delete these. And I'm going to move this one over here. I'm just going to copy this material and then replace it with the sand. So here, so we don't have to alter that. So I'm going to go in here, paste, and then go back into your mega scans, and then go to textures. And then this is the dirt. I'm sorry, this would be the grass. And we just replace that with the grass. And then you do the normals, holding shift out, and then replace that. And now we will plug this into the blend here. And we also could do it here as well. Yeah, and here, so we have it like that. So now when we hit apply, if we go in here, right, we can't see anything here yet. So what we need to do now is that we need to set up a way to blend in. We can see it kind of coming through there. You can see the grass a little bit, but we want to add in a scale or blend in there so we can control that. So we want to go back in here, and then after this node, I'm going to do this. We are going to create another thing here. We call this matte blend, and then you want to multiply it together, and then we are going to use a power node to do that. And the power node controls the contrast of that. But when I do this, what's going to happen is that it's going to get really overpowered, like very loose, like it will get too saturated. I will show you that, and I will show you how to fix that. So I'm going to type in power, and we will connect that, and then we will do another scalar to control the amount of power. So we type in matte and power, and then we'll connect that into here. And now we're going to connect this back into the alpha here to the material, just like that. And now I hit apply. So now if I go in here and let's open up the instance, and we have these right now. Power here, global sense. So if I go in here now, if I do a where are you, matte blend. So let's do this actually we can see it when we're controlling it here, so we can actually see the landscape. So now we should start blending this together. So if we go in here and type in maybe 1.75, and then in here we type in 3.37. Now you can see, oops, it looks like it's really repeating itself here. Let me see here now to control the clamping to make it less contrasty. We can type in clamp. And this will go in here. And apply. Let's see here. 0.025, 0.5. Oh, we forgot to change these numbers. Oh, we changed them already. So now, there we go. So now that's looking better. So now if we go in here and then maybe let's do 3. just see if we can get the right number we want. There we go. Now, there we go. So now we get some grass in here and the spots. Sort like that. So that's how you blend or create a non-repeating texture, and then we can use parameters to blend in using different masking here. So you might have noticed a couple of seconds ago while I was mixing these numbers together, it was more mixing together the colors like in the background. And what happened here is that I forgot to change the blend purlin here. So if you have this set to, if you had this off here and blending here, you just blend in the colors. But as soon as you turn this on and adjusting here, and then here you can see that we're actually blending in now the amount of we want. But you don't want to go just too far down. You can see that it started repeating. But if you make it bigger enough, you get a more realistic look to it, not repeating. So now if I'm mixing these together, you can see you can control it more. So make sure that you turn this on and change the size here in order to do this. Alright, thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button for this. Thank you. Bye bye.